Am I live? Good evening, Kenyans and everyone else around the world. We are live. We are live, and today is both a sad and a very glorious day. Sad because of Kizza Besigye's condition in Uganda's Gulag, where Yoweri Museveni, Raila's buddy, is illegally detaining and torturing Dr. Kizza Besigye. I am going to be very loud in calling for Dr. Kizza Besigye's immediate and unconditional release so that he can seek medical attention. I am going to strongly condemn conman Raila Odinga and tyrant Ruto for selling and betraying Kizza Besigye, who visited Kenya for a legal function a month or so ago and was abducted in Nairobi, illegally renditioned to Uganda, put in a military jail, and subjected to horrendous treatment. We call on tyrant Yoweri Museveni to immediately release Kizza Besigye. Secondly, I have to thank and congratulate Africans from Morocco to South Africa, from Togo to Somalia, who stood with Kenyans in rejecting conman Raila Odinga from Africa Union Council chairmanship. Viva and bravo! You have demonstrated to the world that conmanship is unacceptable and will be rejected in the entire African continent. They went to Addis Ababa thinking that they were going to bamboozle, they were going to bribe, they were going to intimidate and threaten, they were going to impress African heads of state and foreign ministers with their primitive opulence and plutocracy. And Africa has shown them, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It does not matter how much money you have stolen. We are going to stand for Pan-Africanism. I particularly salute the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa, regardless of the inconsistencies and contradictions of the past, has demonstrated to the entire African continent that he's a true Pan-African hero. He took the Zionist, genocidal, racist, Israeli, brutal government to the International Court of Justice and subjected Netanyahu and his fellow fascists to justice. And they were indicted at the International Criminal Court. They were indicted by the International Court of Justice, and South Africa lay bare the horrendous genocide going on in Palestine. I want to salute the people of the Congo who have suffered since the CIA and the Western imperialist forces led by King Leopold of Belgium butchered one of the greatest African heroes, Patrice Lumumba, and since then have turned Congo into a death camp where they have murdered and massacred tens of millions of innocent Africans and plundered their resources. The gold, the diamonds, the uranium, and other precious metals. And right now, as we speak, the tyrant William Kipchirchir Ruto and his fellow tyrant, Paul Kagame, are causing havoc with the help of the Western states. We must condemn what Ruto and company are doing in the Congo unreservedly. I condemn it unreservedly. I am also going to stand in solidarity with the suffering civilians of the Sudan. For more than 10 years now, in fact, for more than 30 years now, the Sudanese have known only blood, suffering after suffering after suffering, no freedom. The brave Sudanese stood a few years ago in a revolutionary transformative action and removed their military dictator. But instead of allowing the Sudanese to control their destiny, the West conspired with the military juntas and overthrew the civilian government. And since then, millions of Sudanese have been displaced, millions have been butchered, millions continue to suffer and starve. I stand in solidarity with the people of Somalia, who have known nothing but suffering, division, and civil war since the overthrow of the military dictatorship in the 1980s. Now, coming home to Kenya, let us dissect the meaning of conman